Welcome to our Parenting Today class here at the University of Maryland, University College. My name is Dr. Eileen McCabe-Moucher, and I am your professor this summer 2017 term. I've created this short video to help orient you to our online classroom in Leo. So here we are in our Leo classroom for our Parenting Today BEHS 343 online classroom here. So the first thing that I encourage you to do is to click on Content, and then from Content, click on Syllabus, and we're going to navigate our way to the syllabus together and go over some of the highlights. So as you will see here, here's my faculty contact information. My name is Eileen McCabe-Moucher, and the best way to reach me is through email at eileen.mccabe-moucher@faculty.umUC.edu. So I encourage you to carefully peruse and read our course description, our course introductions, and course outcomes. All of the course material is online for this class, so of course you do not need to purchase any textbooks. I have provided you with reading material, which I will show you where to access under the course content area. So the most important thing that I want you to remember is that I am here to help you to be successful in the course. So please feel free to contact me directly through email if you have any questions or concerns related to our class. So again, there is my faculty email address, which I just announced. You can also use the instant messenger feature within our online classroom to send me a message. However, please note that you will receive a much more rapid response if you email me directly. Of course, you're always welcome to use the instant messenger feature, but know that you will receive a more rapid response if you simply email me. So I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, that you do a classroom walkthrough. So that'll explain how you use Leo in case this is your very first time taking an online course. So in terms of course expectations, our course is 8 weeks in duration, and you should expect to spend at least 6 hours per week either participating in our class discussions, watching the lecture videos that I've provided, doing other activities, and then spending at least 12 to 15 hours a week involved in study, assigned readings, and preparation of the assignments, which we're going to review later in this video. This portion of the syllabus also talks about your participation, so you want to make sure that you're active and involved in our classroom, participating in the discussion boards. You also want to remember that it's important to you that you respond to at least 2 of your colleagues or classmates each week on the discussion boards, unless it's otherwise noted in that week's content. This portion of the syllabus explains my role in the classroom, and again, I can't emphasize how important it is that you don't feel as if you have to struggle on your own. I am here to help guide you through the course, to help you be successful in the course. I check my email and log into our classroom daily, Monday through Friday, and I typically grade major assignments within 7 to 5 business days after the due date. So you're remembering that if you are struggling or need help with the class, that you can reach out to me. I also have some tips for success in your classes at UMUC outlined here. It's also, I want to draw your attention to our late policy here. You want to remember that prompt work is expected at all times in our class, that due dates are 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the date indicated, and that late assignments will receive lower grades unless you have reached out to me to make a prior arrangement. So please note that deadlines are a really important aspect of our online course. However, if you are involved in an emergency, if you should become ill, if you have an issue in regard to deployment, please email me as soon as you possibly can to let me know. Also, an important aspect of this class to be aware of is that batch papers are not accepted, so multiple assignments submitted together will not be accepted. It's really important that you submit your work in the order that is assigned by the date assigned. Also, some important information to read about plagiarism. So please make sure that you read that. Now I'm going to focus on the grading information. So this course consists of the following graded items. So we have discussion board postings, which are worth 30% of your final grade for the class. We also have quizzes worth 30% of your final grade. So there is a total of 3 quizzes. So each of these quizzes alone are worth 10% of your grade. Added up all together, the quizzes comprise 30% of your grade. You also have that applied final project, and there are 3 parts to your applied final project. The first part is the scenario, which is worth 5% of your final grade. The second part is the research portion, which is worth 15% of your grade. And the third part is the solution part of the paper, which is worth 20% of your grade. So if you add up all of those graded items together, they total 100% of your project grade here, your total grade for the class. So we have here next our project descriptions, which detail your responsibilities in terms of each of the projects for the course. So discussion participation, again, is worth 30% of your final grade. And the real purpose of these weekly discussions is to provide opportunities where you can critically analyze course concepts. So you want to make sure that your postings are thorough, complete, thoughtful, indicate that you've read, examined, and can apply the parenting concepts from the readings. You also want to make sure that you're interacting with your colleagues in a respectful, professional manner in our online discussion board posts. So I've detailed here exactly how class participation will be graded. There's also a very specific rubric here that you want to make sure that you're following. You're remembering that grammar, spelling, punctuation, being respectful, and responding to 2 colleagues every week is something that you're doing here. There's also a late penalty for discussions, so 1 point will be subtracted from your discussion board score for every day that it is late. So quizzes, as you know, comprise 30% of your grade, and our course has 3 quizzes that will determine how well you're building up the new knowledge and how you can apply and use the new knowledge that you're acquiring. So these quizzes are open notes, and they will be posted at the beginning of the work week as indicated in your class schedule. So you want to remember that you need to submit your completed quizzes to the assignments folder by no later than 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the due date. So the quizzes are essay-based, and again, they're open notes. So you have the opportunity to use the classroom resources, the online resources, the lectures, as well as the online learning materials to be able to take the quiz. So now I'm going to go in depth and we're going to review your applied final project, which is otherwise known as your Lot in Life assignment. So again, this assignment in total is worth 40% of your final grade. However, it is in 3 different parts. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing about one of these scenarios here that is carefully listed. So the first scenario is that you are expecting your first baby and are thinking about sleeping arrangements. You have heard of the concept of the family bed, and you're considering having the baby sleep with you and your spouse. So I encourage you to read all of these different scenarios here that I've provided you with. There's 32 of them in total. And pick the scenario that interests you the most, that you feel the most passionate about, or simply the one that you just want to learn more about. So you're choosing that different scenario. And for part 1, you're going to set the scene. So for part 1, you're choosing one of the lot in life scenarios. And I'm asking you to elaborate on the scenario by writing a letter to a relative or a close friend, or you can write a diary or a journal entry from the perspective of a parent writing about his or her child. So your letter or diary entry, whichever one you choose, should explain what happened in detail, identify the issues that you'll need to consider, and research in coming up with a solution and a plan of action on how you should deal with the situation. So this paper should have a cover sheet that lists your name, our section number, as well as the scenario that you've chosen. And here is a very specific grading rubric that I'll be using to grade these setting the scene papers that you submit. So part 2 of your final project is entitled Doing the Research, and this is worth 15% of your final grade. For this research portion of the paper, you want to prepare a short, so that's 4 to 6 pages in length, research paper that identifies several key issues related to the scenario that you chose for your lot in life assignment. So you want to incorporate at least 8 to 10 scholarly, credible, and current references to support your ideas, drawing primarily from government and community agencies, as well as scholarly journals and books. And just a general reminder, you want to make sure that you're including in-text citations and a reference list, and that your paper is written in APA format. So again, this paper should have a cover sheet that lists your name, our section number, as well as the scenario that you've chosen. And you want to make sure that you also copy and paste your part 1 assignment at the end of the research paper here. And the syllabus also has really important information in regard to APA style and referencing style, as well as information about web resources. I've also included a grading rubric here, so the expectations are really clear in regard to what I'm expecting for this particular paper. And again, if you should have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you be successful in the course. So the third part of this assignment is called the solution, and it is worth 20% of the final grade. So for this solution part of the paper, in 4 to 6 pages, I'd like you to describe your action plan for dealing with your lot in life. So as a part of your solution, you should explain how your research on the topic has guided your plan of action. So you'll need to contact at least 2 local community agencies. So you're not just using websites, you're actually contacting the agency that can help provide information, training, or support for the problem. You're including specifics on how to contact the agency, what services they have available, and how much these services cost. So if you include internet sources for your background research on the topic, please review the guidelines about evaluating web sources that was given earlier here in the syllabus. I'd also like you to describe any obstacles or challenges that may prevent your plan of action from being successful in this solution. And then finally, I'd like you to conclude your paper with a reflection on why you chose this particular lot in life assignment to study and how your research of the topic has influenced your own personal views of parenting. So again, this paper should have a cover sheet that lists your name, our section number, as well as you're spelling out the precise scenario that you've chosen. And again, your paper should be double spaced, and your other 2 assignments should be copied and pasted at the end of your solution paper. So once again, I have here for you a really detailed grading rubric for part 3 of the assignment. So those expectations are really clear. I'm trying to set you up for success here. The next portion of our syllabus contains academic policy, which I strongly encourage you to read and review on your own. Also has the grading scale that we're going to be using for the course this term. Also, I want to draw your attention to this class and assignment schedule, where it has the assignments and the due dates very carefully outlined for you here. So those are the highlights of our syllabus, and now I want to draw your attention to the content section of our classroom here. So we're going to go ahead and click on the week 1 content so you're familiar with what that looks like. So the first thing that you want to do, if you haven't already done so, is go ahead and introduce yourself on our online discussion board here, and then I'd like you to navigate, click on our week 1 learning resources here. So you'll see here that you have the week 1 resources, great articles, text information that I encourage that you carefully read. Again, all of the information that you need for the quizzes can be found here under the learning resources. So for that's quizzes 1, 2, and 3, you're wanting to make sure that you are studying the learning resources in the content area here. You will also see here that for weeks 1 through 6, I have provided you with some Parenting Today lecture slides. So these are YouTube videos where I deeply explain some concepts that are found in our online textbook here. So again, I created these slides about a year ago. So you may notice that in some of the slides I'm referring to specific dates and things that have happened a year ago. So please, the content is still relevant and up to date, but you just want to disregard the specific date that I am referencing. So again, this is our classroom here. I'll be sending out announcements at least every week, just capturing the highlights of our class. But the most important thing, again, that I want you to remember is that I'm here to help you if you have any questions or concerns related to our course. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I am looking forward to a great summer semester with you here at UMUC in our Parenting Today class.